Yeah, so it seems that matter becomes more transparent.
Well,
Not
yes,
so
yes.
not so
And matter
dense.
actually is transparent.
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
atoms are mostly space, and what the
Yeah.
rest of it's hard to define. So
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah.
the actual physical world can sort of
Mm-hmm.
visually, anyway. I don't know about the other senses, but can visually seem to be a bit wavery, and still
Yeah.
manage to negotiate it okay, though.
Yes. So you feel you crossed some kind of finishing line.
Well, I suppose if you're telling the story of it, yes,
Yeah.
it would seem like that. But one of the, I guess, the biggest sort of quality of this apparent experience was that there is no line to cross.
Yes.
That I was always there, using the past tense advisedly. I am always here. It was always here. Everything was just exactly the way it's supposed to be. And there isn't really any time for a story of me awakening or whatever to happen.
Yeah, that's fascinating.
Mm.
Yeah, can you talk more about that?
Well, I'll use a recent example of if you're talking about the dinosaurs and the past and historical events.
Yes.
So if I have a dinosaur bone here and I'm doing scientific, carbon dating on it or something that would scientifically prove that yes, there was a long ago past where these dinosaurs were on. I'm doing all that carbon dating and the tests on the dinosaur bone now, and any thoughts about the past are happening now, and any thoughts about the future are happening now, and anything I do is happening now, even if it seems to be part of a process of a long plan with a very, with a very specific goal at the end of it.
Yes.
It's always happening now. It's so easy, I guess, to see that there is no time, that it is entirely just a construct of the mind and thinking.
Right.
Fun.
Yes.
And absolutely worthwhile for its own sake. But
yes.
This is it.
Yes.
Now is all there is.
So what you're saying is, let's take for example suffering or pain. It is in this moment, and then the mind takes it and goes with it into the future, and that is the process of suffering. But if we are really in the moment with it, there is no suffering or there is no pain.
Well, I think
how does that work?
I don't know how it works. That's a good question. But I would say that it's likely if there is not an ego there that is claiming that this is my pain and it's going to last forever, and if that's not there, then it's probably likely that suffering will not be the case.
Yes.
I don't think there's any guarantee. I mean, if you can take a concept like that, and the ego can say, "Oh, I want that, not suffering. I don't want to suffer." Oh, and then perhaps reinforce itself, trying not to suffer.
Mm-hmm.
I think that even not suffering isn't the goal. There sort of is no goal except to just be, and everybody's doing that. Everybody's got it right. Everybody's being. Everybody's right here, right now, even if their minds are going all over the place. That's part of it too.
It's fascinating. I'm just trying. I can see how my mind is taking what you say and make a concept out of it. How that all works. Yeah.
Well, the mind will do that. I think that people are very hard on their minds.
Yes.
Very hard on their egos.
Yes.
I still sort of, I guess, I'm a character in a story, and things seem to happen, and I make to-do lists and plans and raise my children and do all that kind of thing.
Yes.
And part of that story is that I see so many people that are just so hard on themselves. They just can't get it right. Nothing's ever good enough, and they're hard on others, because they're not perfect enough, and there's some sort of unattainable goal all the time, that people just beat themselves up all the time because they can't reach it. And I think that, you know, it's very possible that that doesn't have to be the case. Now, I don't think there's anything wrong with all of that.
Yeah.
Though the character in my story of my life tends to think, what a shame. But I guess if you are more presently aware, or even kind of getting there, then maybe this is enough.
So, Suzanne, after the awakening, did anything change in your life? What?
Not a lot, I have to say. I have to say that in the story of my life, a lot of change happened because of the therapy I was going through, and the kind of help from many people around me that I was getting. But what has changed is, it's very hard to describe. Things just seem to sort of toddle on like they always did.
Yes.
Toddle along as they always did. Nothing seems that different, and yet everything seems just more itself. I hate to put a label on it, but maybe more beautiful, more intrinsically valuable.
Yes.
So there isn't a lot of searching and casting around for something to be different or better. Now, those kind of goals can kind of come up, you know, to, I don't know, dye my hair a better shade of brown, or, you know, these small little things like that, or help my children with their homework and keep, you know, try to instill some discipline in them and make them better in that way. And that, but that just has to do with the sort of conditioning that I have, and that is just what has been given to work with. And even in the midst of all that, it's nothing happening that's not happening right now. Right now.
So say that again.
There's nothing happening that isn't happening now. It's always happening now. No matter what. No matter if there's an interesting story going on or not, or if there's suffering going on or not. It's always now.
Right. Okay. So when you are with your children, do you see them different now? Do you see more their true nature than their ego? What do you support more?
I don't know. I think that their true nature is just absolutely apparent, as is the true nature of everything, because it's just right here. Very obvious.
Yeah.
But I suppose this is all quite meaningless. This is just what seems to be happening for me. I quite enjoy their egos. I quite enjoy seeing my children are embarked on a mission to become the most separate, special individual, completely unto themselves people that ever existed in the history of the universe. And this probably goes for most young teenagers, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
And I think it's just lovely to see these little personalities forming and changing and coping, and I think I'm very fortunate, and my children they seem to cope with reality and the things that are given with them fairly well.
Yes.
And the story is fabulous, you know. It might all be just always happening now. And
yes, yeah.
But, you know, it's lovely. It's to be enjoyed. And that's the biggest difference. I enjoy my children now.
Is.
I enjoy them. They're not a problem. Well, they kind of are sometimes, but there aren't these sort of things and ego concerns, I suppose, in the way of enjoying them so much. They come up a little and they slip away, though.
Yeah.
I'll tell a story, and it isn't really very important, but I came home from just being out, after I'd been away, actually sort of on a retreat, not an organized retreat. I just go away to a place for a couple of days and just like read and stuff. So I came back, and this, I suppose, wasn't long after this knife thing happened.